Shocking incident at the 2025 FIVB Women's U21 World Championship. FIVB annuls Vietnam's results due to ineligible player. On August 12, 2025, the Fédération Internationale de Volleyball, FIVB, issued an official statement confirming that the Vietnam women's U21 volleyball team had fielded an ineligible player at the 2025 FIVB Women's U21 World Championship, currently taking place in Surabaya, Indonesia. This decision immediately sent shockwaves through the volleyball community both domestically and internationally. Not only did Vietnam lose all match results involving the offending player, but they also dropped from second place in Group A to the bottom of the table, losing their chance to compete in the top 16 round. This is a rare event in the history of Vietnamese sports, not only because of the seriousness of the violation but also because it happened at a youth tournament, an event often regarded as a launchpad for the future. Original FIVB Statement. FIVB Statement on ineligible player at the FIVB Volleyball Women's U21 World Championship 2025. The case will be referred to the FIVB Disciplinary Panel for further evaluation regarding potential sanctions extending beyond the event. Following concerns raised that the Volleyball Federation of Vietnam fielded an ineligible player in their U21 national team at the FIVB U21 Women's World Championship 2025 in Indonesia, the FIVB conducted an investigation in line with its regulations. The investigation concluded that the player in question was ineligible as per Article 12.2 of the FIVB Disciplinary Regulations 2023. As a result, and in accordance with Articles 13.5.2 of the Event Regulations and 14.4 of the Disciplinary Regulations, the FIVB Disciplinary Panel Subcommittee has ruled that the matches of the Vietnam national team in which the player participated are forfeited and the player is disqualified from the event with immediate effect. As per Article 14.4 of the Disciplinary Regulations and considering the circumstances of the case, the FIVB Disciplinary Panel Subcommittee will refer the file to the FIVB Disciplinary Panel for further evaluation regarding potential sanctions extending beyond the event. At that stage, the Volleyball Federation of Vietnam and the player will be invited to provide their positions in writing. The FIVB will make no further comment on this matter while this process remains ongoing. Breakdown of the statement. Analyzing the above statement shows that the FIVB is following a multi-layered disciplinary process. 1. Verification of violation. The FIVB received complaints or suspected information from relevant parties that Vietnam had listed an ineligible player in the tournament roster. They conducted an investigation under Article 12.2 of the FIVB Disciplinary Regulations 2023, which generally relates to meeting criteria regarding age, nationality, registration, and personal eligibility. 2. Immediate action at the tournament. Based on Article 13.5.2, Event Regulations, and Article 14.4, Disciplinary Regulations, the FIVB decided to forfeit all matches in which the player participated and immediately expel the player from the tournament. 3. Possibility of extended sanctions. The FIVB will forward the case file to the disciplinary panel for consideration of additional penalties, which may include bans from FIVB tournaments for a certain period. 4. Right of reply. The Volleyball Federation of Vietnam, VFV, and the player involved will be invited to submit written explanations. Only after this stage will the FIVB issue a final decision. Actual developments and impact on group standings. Before the sanction, Group A standings were Argentina in first place, Vietnam in second, Serbia in third, and Indonesia and Canada in the last two positions, after applying the 0-3 forfeits in 4 matches against Indonesia, Serbia, Canada, and Argentina. Vietnam was left with only 1 win, 4 losses, earning 3 points and falling to the bottom of the table due to an inferior tiebreaker compared to Canada. This resulted in significant changes. Indonesia rose from last place to third, Serbia climbed to second place, Argentina retained the top spot. Vietnam lost its right to advance to the top 16 round, moving to the 17-24 classification group. Domestic and international reaction. As of the morning of August 13, Both the VFV and Vietnam's Department of Physical Education and Sports remained silent. This silence only fueled further suspicion regarding the athlete eligibility verification process. Meanwhile, several international outlets, particularly in Southeast Asia, reported the news promptly and raised questions about the professionalism of Vietnam's national team management. The issue of two players undergoing gender checks. Alongside the main case, there were reports about two players, Dang Thi Hong and Nguyen Phuong Queen, being absent from the match against Puerto Rico. Thai newspaper Tharith reported that both had to undergo gender verification tests. But the VFV denied this, stating that it was a random check under FIVB rules and a request to provide birth certificates. If results show nothing unusual, the two athletes will return to competition. After Vietnam's 1-3 loss to Serbia on August 8 at the 2025 FIVB Women's U21 World Championship, Serbia's head coach Marijana Boricic made a remark that drew attention. "We have never trained with a men's team to prepare for the U21 World Championship," she said. According to Volleyball.it, this statement did not directly refer to gender issues but was seen as alluding to the physical differences between players. In reality, the Vietnamese U21 team has 3 athletes notable for their muscular strength and solid technical foundation. However, so far, there has been no official information confirming the presence of a transgender athlete in the squad. In principle, FIVB regulates gender eligibility in Article 2, Clause 3 of its General Rules on Age and Gender. Gender is verified through a birth certificate. Each athlete may change gender only once in their lifetime and must convince the FIVB Gender Eligibility Commission that the change does not confer an unfair competitive advantage. Assessment is based on documentation in a process provided proactively by the athlete. Unlike World Athletics, the FIVB does not enforce mandatory gender testing but can conduct random checks under a comprehensive process. This process may include physiological evaluation, natural changes, height, weight, BMI, muscle mass, medical examination, gender reassignment surgery, testosterone levels, muscle receptor measurement methods, and new medical findings, sports performance analysis, records in national competitions, playing positions, experience competing in the original gender category. In addition, athletes may submit additional documents or comply with further requests from the Gender Eligibility Commission. Gender testing has always been a sensitive topic in sports and has sparked intense debates. For example, at the Paris 2024 Olympics, 2 boxers, Lin Yu-ting, Taiwan, and Imani Khelif, Algeria, became central figures amid gender eligibility controversies. On May 30, 2025, World Boxing, recognized by the IOC in February 2025 as the new International Federation for Amateur Boxing, announced that all athletes aged 18 and above wishing to compete must undergo genetic PCR testing to determine their birth-assigned gender and eligibility. PCR testing, via saliva, blood, or nasal fluid samples, identifies whether an athlete has an XX, female, or XY, male, chromosome set. However, world boxing experts note that the XXXY distinction is not always clear-cut. Some individuals have differences of sexual development, DSD, resulting in anatomical traits not matching their recorded gender. For example, a woman without a uterus, with internal gonads, and elevated testosterone levels may carry XY chromosomes. According to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, around 0.05 to 1.7% of the global population is born with intersex traits. World Boxing stated it would evaluate each case individually, similar to how World Aquatics and World Athletics currently apply chromosome testing. FIVB rules on gender and eligibility. The FIVB stipulates, gender is verified by birth certificate. Gender may be changed once in a lifetime, with proof that it does not create a sporting advantage. Gender testing may be conducted randomly. The process may include medical checks, legal documents, physical evaluations, and hormone testing. International precedence and severity of the case. Eligibility verification issues are not new in global sports. Paris 2024 Olympics. The cases of Lin Yu-ting, Taiwan, and Imani Khelif, Algeria, caused controversy in boxing. Football. Many youth national teams have been disqualified from tournaments for age fraud. Volleyball. In 2019, an African national team was disqualified by the FIVB for fielding overage players at the U19 championship. The common thread in these cases is that, beyond immediate sanctions at the event, governing bodies often impose additional penalties as a deterrent. Possible next sanctions by the FIVB. Based on regulations, the FIVB may impose 1. Financial fines on VFV and/or the athlete. 2. Bans from participating in certain international tournaments for 6 months to 2 years. 3. Revocation of the right to host FIVB events. 4. Official warnings and strict monitoring of athlete documentation in future events. This incident serves as a wake-up call for athlete documentation management by sports federations. In an era of globalization, any oversight can be detected and may lead to severe consequences on the international stage. For Vietnam's U21 team, the tournament in Surabaya is not only a failure in terms of results but also an expensive lesson in preparation, transparency, and responsibility. The case is still under investigation by the FIVB, and there will surely be more developments in the coming days. What do you think about the penalty imposed on Vietnam's U21 team? Is this a fair decision, or are there still many questions to be answered? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the discussion. If you found this information useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with the latest updates on this heated controversy.